I bought the Corength welt belt from Decathlon. So now, over the last weeks, I would say, or months even, I began using a weight belt at the gym. Now, the big downside to using a weight belt is at our gym, or at my gym, is at least that you have to ask every time. And if the person at the service is not at the service, then you just stand around. And I do have a very tight schedule at the gym. So basically, my gym time starts already when I begin to leave the apartment, and when I come home again, my gym time kind of ends. It depends on whether I'm doing something else afterwards or whether I'm returning here. So what I'm trying to say here is that going to the service and then not somebody being there, or maybe the belt not being there, is just not a very good option in the long term. So I used a belt at the gym, and I was able to increase my pull-ups from basically 0 kilograms added, even though in the past I had a 10 kilogram rest, which the maximum I was at was, I think, 10 repetitions at 10 kilograms. So now, in the last weeks and months, I used this welt belt at the gym, and my pull-up strength as well as my dip strength kind of increased very fast, I would say. So I progressed quite fast, partially because I did this in the past already. So maybe I already threw on more than 10 kilograms in the past. Also on dips, I was at one location where we also had a belt like this, and we also had plates we could add. Now, there are bigger belts, and they usually have a little bit more padding. This is more like a singular strap, whereas the other ones have a little bit more padding on the sides here, which account for the fact that you have these bones sticking out at the side of your body. So now, if you put this one on, then the problem that I experienced already kind of is that it just rubs a lot on these sides here. So now, the advantage of this being this small is that if you just have a very small gym bag, then it fits very nicely in, and it's not this big chunky thing like other gym belts are. But the downside obviously is that it then might rub a little bit more on your bones and also on your skin. Nonetheless, if you then have it, you can fold it into these 3 parts, and then you can take one of these and fold it. Not one of these, but you can take the chain and fold it around. Now, there is also this additional feature, which is a hook. And I think this hook is meant for basically increasing the height of the weight. So you can also use this hook in order to now very conveniently store it, and you don't have to use the carabiner all the time. But I think what it is meant for is for the scenario that you have your weight belt on, and now if you have it on, you have this one carabiner at the end. You also have the second carabiner, which attaches to this latchet here, or whatever you call it. Let's just call it a ring. So now, if you connect these two, then this is the setup that actually now is attached to you. And now the second part of this whole thing is that you have either this carabiner, which you then can basically loop through the different plates you want to attach, and then you attach it to this here again. Now, in addition, if you have this basically flopping around here, then what you can additionally do is you can increase the height of the plates. So if they usually would be down here, if you now attach also this into here, then they are just a little bit higher. You can also use this potentially otherwise. Maybe there is something else, another function I am not aware of. But in total, it cost 20 euros. It now means that I have my own weight belt. It also means that I have a weight belt that I can throw into the backpack without... Of course, it is also very heavy because there is a chain on it. But at least it is not that big in terms of volume. And compared to the other ones, maybe it's 2/3 of the volume of the normal ones, or it's even maybe half of it. Of course, the weight is not that much different.